One of the best things about pigeons is indisputably their iridescence. And today I'm going to use this little inbred, because he's inbred, get it? A pigeon to show you how I add colour to my hand embroidered pigeons to give them that lovely, shiny, classic, iridescent, pigeony look. Here we have my almost finished pigeon, stitched up with some classic pigeony bluish greys, and now it's time to rainbow him up. I like to work from dark to light, so I'm starting off by adding some dark purple in the shadows. Some of the dark luscious purples I recommend are DMC 550, Anchor 102, and Ariadna 1589. Of course, any dark purple will do. I'm basically adding individual stitches to the darkest parts on the right hand side of Mr. Pidge. So the shadow under the bread, the right side of his neck. I love using purple for shadows because it's more colourful and saturated than black or dark grey. So it brings a little life and energy to the thread painting while still adding contrast and definition. So now I'm moving on to a darker purplish pink. I'm working in similar areas to where I used the dark purple floss, stitching into that area and moving upwards a little to lighter parts. Some of the dark pinks I recommend are DMC 915 or 718, Anchor 89 and Ariadna 1599. Now I'm adding some highlights of sort to the darker pinky purpley parts I've just done using a nice bright fresh pink. Some of my favourite bright pinks are DMC 3804, Anchor 63 and Ariadna 1568. This pink I'm using here is the one from Ariadna and it's my absolute favourite. It's the brightest, most vibrant pink embroidery floss I've ever seen. And while DMC and Anchor do have some nice equivalents, nothing quite compares to this one. It's not the easiest to get hold of outside of Eastern Europe, but if you have a chance to get your hands on some, I'd highly recommend it. It is well worth it. For the darkest shadows on the left side, I'm going to add some dark turquoise. The reason I'm moving on to more greenish and bluish colours over this side is to recreate this shift from pink to green we can see in real pigeons, depending on how the light is hitting their feathers. Some darker turquoises I really like are DMC 3808, Anchor 1068 and Ariadna 1644. Note how I'm changing the angle of the stitches depending on the shape of the body part I'm working on. This is super important in thread painting, and alongside colour is one of the best ways to make something look as if it was three-dimensional. As with the purple, I'm mostly adding stitches in the shadow cast by the bread, and a little down at the bottom of his tummy as well. I'm moving on to the highlights now, and starting with a light turquoise-ish blue. Some light blues I really like are DMC 3846, Anchor 1090, and Ariadna 1653. When adding highlights, it helps to get the placement right if you try to imagine where the light would hit the subject of your embroidery. Conventionally in art, light comes from the top left, so that's where I'm going to add my highlights too. I'm adding them to the upper left part of his tummy and also a little around his eye to give his head a bit of sparkle and definition. The last colour I'm going to add today is a light bright acid green. Some of my favourite light greens are DMC 704, Anchor 256 and Ariadna 1699. I'm adding a few little stitches here to the middle of his neck on the left hand side. I really like shifting tones like this, from a more bluish turquoise-ish green to an acid green. This gives a sunny sort of feel. And here he is, one handsome beaded pigeon. If you'd like to learn how to create your own realistic colourful thread paintings, I have a whole host of detailed step-by-step patterns available in my Etsy shop, Becky's Embroidery Shop. You can find the link in the description below. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be adding lots more embroidery tutorials and how-tos over the coming months. And if there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover, drop me a comment below to let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.